Okay, gonna make a quick little video about the Shehnai, the Indian oboe. This is a super cool instrument that a lot of us, I'm sure, are interested in, especially if you found this video. The problem, especially for those of us in English language speaking countries, is that there is a absolute black hole of English language information about these on the internet. If anyone stumbled across this video and you're looking to hear a Shehnai playing, or you want to hear Shehnai music, that's not what this is. This is just going to be discussing the instrument. Excuse me, I have a bit of a cold here, so I might be sniffling a little bit. And mainly what we as people in the West kind of are going to have to go through when we buy one. This is one I picked up. I actually have two. This is a brand new one. The first one I have is really, really old. But this is a Banjara, and that's the name of the company that imports it. And it's a decent enough instrument. It has what I think is, everybody advertises it as rosewood. I'm not 100% sure if it is. Obviously, rosewood is native to India, East Indian rosewood. It has a nickel plated bell. This was the original staple that came with it. Just for those who are just learning, we'll go through, let's kind of start at the beginning. The Shehnai, the parts of a Shehnai, you have a bell, you have the body, you have the staple, and then you have the reed right there. The staple is kind of like a metallic tube that goes into the end of the body like that, and then on the end hooks the reed. Now let's talk about reeds for a second. This is a Shehnai reed right here. I'll put that on the table. Properly shaped. It's kind of about shaped like a duckbill. And that does, that does take some shaping. That takes work to do that. Once you get them, you have to get sandpaper and make them look like that. This is a raw reed as they're shipped. I think there's one company out there that actually imports these, or that sells these for import to the West, and then all the retailers on the internet are just kind of fighting over trying to sell you on the same ones. It's Mid-East company, which is kind of well known for making importing East Indian classical instruments. The reed itself is a quadruple reed. However, you'll hear it regularly referred to as a double reed. That's technically incorrect. I took one apart here, so you can see you have two. Oops, sorry, I'm just getting it set up here. So this is basically the components of the reed right there. That's a single reed that's been taken apart. So you'll have two pieces on top, two pieces on the bottom, and those comprise your reed. Now this particular instrument, I do have to take pretty severe exception with this company, Banjara. I noticed on Amazon.com somebody wrote them a pretty nasty review saying that they sent them the wrong reed and it was just garbage. And here Banjara sent me this, and it was basically just a piece of reed material that had literally never been cut. How incredibly disappointing that was. And what's so brutal about that is if you're somebody who's just learning about Shehnai, or you're just kind of generally interested, that you're going to blow and blow and blow and nothing's going to happen, and you're going to think you're doing something wrong. So this is a habit they need to get out of. Also, the staple that they sent, this aluminum staple, I'm not a big fan of. It was kind of junky. So you can actually order new reeds, new staples. That's what I went ahead and did. And this one is, see if I can get a little tone out of it with one hand, but this one actually plays really well. And it has a really good tone to it. So it does come recommended, but you kind of have to be prepared to throw away the reed and the staple and get a new one right away. But generally speaking, so that's what a Shehnai is, and that's what you're in for. It's kind of on the flute principle. like you think when you were a kid, you took a blade of grass and you put it between your fingers and you blew. That's kind of basically what it is. That's what you're doing up here at your reed. That's going through your staple into your flute body, magnifying out the end, and then you're articulating your tones with the hole. You know, we're so used to thinking it in terms of East Indian classical tones or kind of snake charmer tones, but you know, you can almost kind of get like an alto sax tone out of this thing. I was playing with some Shuggy Otis with it the other day. So it's a really cool little horn, man, and they're really cheap. The only real piece of advice I would say is if you're just casually thinking of getting one, just let it pass, because they are really not easy to play. If you have no experience with the horn whatsoever, this probably isn't the best horn to start on. But generally speaking, yeah, man, for what you're going to pay, you're probably going to wind up paying 40 or 50 bucks for a complete Shehnai. It'll come with a little reed spreader and probably some reeds. You're going to definitely have to buy some aftermarket reeds to go with it. But all said and done, it's going to add some good sounds to your repertoire. So for those of you out there that have just been kind of wondering, you know, what the Shehnai is, you like the sound, but there's not a lot of English language content. I hope maybe this was kind of helpful. If you have any questions, just post them in the comments, and I'll answer them as best I can. Okay, thanks.